Hello there. Welcome to the Don't Hate Us podcast. This is a political podcast of divine individuals fighting for a change in the current GOP political spectrum for truth and justice. This is the first episode where we'll be talking about the blue wave, the synagogue shooting, pipe bombs for Trump, and we're going to be talking about some interesting subjects like Ted Cruz being the Zodiac killer and Elizabeth Warren featuring in the Pocahontas third movie. Hello, my name is T. And my guy over here, his name is S. You can speak.
What's up? I'm S, and I guess that's really it for now. I'm going to say.
And this is A.
Hello, I'm A.
And we are the Don't Hate Us podcast, also known as the SAT group. Please do not say this to the College Board program.
Don't sue us.
Don't sue us, please.
So, our purpose over here, right? We're college students. I'm not going to deny that. Is it okay to say that?
Yes.
So the thing is, right, we are covering up our names until there's a change in the political spectrum. Why should there be a change in the political spectrum? Well, here's a nice story about how we should change how we supposed to judge people. Once I was talking with this friend of mine, true story. I was telling him, hey, I kind of agree with some Republican point of views. You know what he said to me? He judged me. He said, "You're racist." I was like, "Could you explain to me how I'm racist?"
You're a bigot.
Yeah, I'm a bigot. I'm the worst. I'm a scumbag. I'm a scumbag of a human being for being a Republican. I was like, "Could you explain that to me?" Unironically. He's like, "Well, you support Trump." I'm like, "I don't support Trump in some ways, but that doesn't make me a racist bigot." Okay? I'm a human being. I believe in a lot of things. I believe in respect towards any other people. And I just, agree with Trump on some things. I agree with some Republicans or some conservative point of views. Shout out to my man, Ben Shapiro. He's the best dude ever. And so I kind of learned something. It's unfair to be a Republican nowadays because you're going to be looked at differently by many people. And so we are going to try to change that. How? We'll tell you our points of views, but we're not going to yell at you. We're not going to scream or disrespect you. We're going to talk civilly and have a wonderful debate. And this is what we're going to do. And hopefully you'll enjoy this podcast. We'll try to bring every point of view we can. We're not just going to be so biased or anything. And hopefully you'll enjoy. So we do a segment also on this podcast called The ELF, right? It's the emotional, logical, factual evaluation of a news source. And we're going to do that to every news source we can. So hopefully you'll enjoy that as well. And so for our first topic of today, we're going to be talking about the blue wave, which it's not a blue wave. It's just a realignment of American politics. But we're going to talk about many people, one of the big states, such as New York, California, Florida, and Texas. So I suppose we could start with Texas. So I know that as of today is November 2nd, Friday. I know that Ted Cruz is up a little bit. How much is it?
6.5%. 6.5 points, not percent.
That's the points percentage, same thing.
What's the difference?
Which is kind of big for Texas right now because they are a huge Republican state and it's possible it could flip, which would be huge to just everything.
It would be a big thing, especially if all of Texas flips, especially for House and Senate.
Well, House and Senate, they flip and stuff like that. Then we get to the 2020 election, all of a sudden Texas voting Democrat. The Republicans have no chance at that point.
No.
So I feel like it's a danger for Democrats to be winning all of a sudden and being so sneaky about many things for now. Because I feel like maybe they didn't want the big house, right? The White House, the president, because who would actually vote for Hillary Clinton? What a crazy ass. So I would assume that the Democratic agenda is just to win as much as they can in order to have at least some control over Trump, and that's kind of, I don't know, that's dangerous because it's not that they're being civil about it; they're being kind of, what's the name for it? Underhanded, actually. Yeah, they're being so...
I don't know if that'd be a proper term, but I can see why they'd be doing it, because if you look at past presidencies, normally the president who's in office and runs for re-election continues to stay in office. Because one, you know what that person's about, so you'd rather re-elect the person than re-elect someone new. Because you don't know what that person's going to do. You don't know if they're going to keep their promises, which most candidates don't. Trump's kept some. I haven't kept up with him completely because I cringe a little bit whenever he opens his mouth.
Horse face.
Horse face.
I mean, we're still waiting for that wall, Trump.
We're still waiting for the wall.
But I mean, even when some candidates say they're going to bring up policies, like, I didn't do it the first 4 years like I said I was going to do, but the next 4 years I'm going to do. And that was a bunch of, like, what Obama was saying. I mean, not just Obama, but just, like, a bunch of candidates. Obama, George Bush. I mean, like, all these candidates were saying a bunch of these stuff, and they didn't do anything about it.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty much every candidate. That's just synonymous with all politics.
It's politics, yeah, right?
Yeah, it's just politics at its base.
Always. So, apart from that, so has Ted Cruz been good at his campaign? I mean, I know he's been really, really keeping up with Texas and with with the geopolitical weather, I would say. Shout out to my man S, who came with that phrase a few days ago. So, apart from that, I really want to check up on New York. So, if you can look up for the New York standards right now.
See where they are. Well, right now they're blue for the Senate or the House.
Senate.
It looks like they're still blue. New York's pretty blue.
I mean, I could get that.
Yeah, it looks like they're still pretty blue. And let's see if I can get this off of Texas. Okay. I don't see anything for see Ohio, New Mexico, Michigan. Don't see New York. No. Mm-hmm. See New Mexico.
Top governor races.
Yeah. How much Senate can I find in New York there? No, but I can find Florida.
Well, let's go talk to Florida. I just know it's really, really weird for Florida, for the Senate, for the governor position, and for I think most of them actually.
Yeah, we got a huge race between Senate and governor. We got former Governor Rick Scott
and Bill Nelson.
They're going against Bill Nelson.
He's the incumbent, and it looks like he's up by 1.9 points.
And then we also for governor we have Ron DeSantis against Andrew Gillum.
That's a weird actual subject. So. Going to the Andrew Gillum with Ron DeSantis. How much is Gillum up?
Gillum's up by 2.7.
Wow, that's getting really close, actually.
Yeah,
that's surprising.
Considering how bad DeSantis is doing at debates.
Honestly,
oh my gosh,
yeah, that's pretty bad.
Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that. Let's dissect his terrible debating.
Honestly, because I want everyone to understand how bad DeSantis is talking. Like I said, I personally like DeSantis. Not for how he speaks, but just policy-wise, I match up with him pretty well. But how he speaks, it's horrible. It's really...
Yeah, sometimes it's like... See, the thing with Obama is that I don't agree with anything with Obama politically. Maybe a few things here and there, but he's a very eloquent speaker. I give Obama that. Very good at it.
Yes, very true.
DeSantis is the exact opposite.
Well, you have DeSantis coming up talking to him, and he talks very slowly. He doesn't defend anything. Andrew Gillum goes attacks the NRA, attacks this, and DeSantis just like, oh God, what's happening? Yeah. He doesn't attack anything. And then he brings up the same facts. Andrew Gillum is like really well where he brings up different facts, he brings up different things. He's like, I'm sponsored by this is why. DeSantis is like, I am sponsored by this. He's like, okay, I'm going to defact that. And then DeSantis is like, but I'm still sponsored by them. And stuff like that. He's got like one thing going for him. It's not good.
No, I get you. I listened to their first debate. I think it was on CNN. I'm not sure though. Don't quote me on that. So when I first heard Rick DeSantis. Okay, yeah.
Ron DeSantis.
Rick Scott DeSantis.
Rick Scott.
God. So when I listened to Ron DeSantis speak, I was so disappointed because my dad is voting. He voted already. So when we heard Ron DeSantis talk, we kind of just gave up on him. We were like, what the hell is wrong with you? His way of speaking, literally, my dad doesn't understand much English, I'll tell you that. But the way he talked and the way he portrayed himself, he seemed really impulsive to talk, first of all. Second of all, he seemed really, okay. So at the start of the debate, Andrew Gillum straight up, said hi, was really eloquent, was really formal. Meanwhile, just Rick DeSantis. Okay, come on,
Rick
Rick DeSantis. Rick DeSantis, right? He just went on to attack Andrew Gillum from the start, and I was like, dude, don't do that.
You gotta talk actual politics before you start attacking.
Yeah, honestly, that was the worst tactic he could have possibly done. I mean, he drew attention, yes, but it wasn't that good of a deal.
See, the thing is like, if you're going to attack someone, you at least want to do it when you have something to attack. If you just say hi, you don't if you attack them immediately. You just look like an asshole. I mean, come on. So I think another reason why he might be like this is because of President Trump. Like, because like President Trump is there. It's like everyone needs to vote. I mean, he came to Florida recently, and he had one of those. He's still doing campaign rallies when he's not even campaigning, which I find hilarious. But it's like he was like, there's a crowd of people who's like, who voted? You voted? You voted? He's like, everyone's like, yeah, we voted. They go, why am I even here? And I go, because you don't know how to shut your mouth. I just think the thing is that maybe, I don't know exactly what's going through Ron DeSantis' head. Maybe he's just really bad at public speaking, which is really bad if you're running for governor. Or it could be that he's just confident that he'll win the position without really doing anything, which is a bad mindset to have, because I think that's mainly why Hillary lost to Trump, is because everyone had the mindset, oh, I'm going to win this anyway, so she didn't do much campaigning. And like everyone else had that mindset, oh, we don't need to vote, we already have it in the bag, we have the majority. So like everyone together had the collective thought, we don't need to do anything, so they all lost, which is the problem here.
Oh my god. That's actually kind of true. And I get you. And I thought of something really weird. Could you imagine that every Republican is trying to copy off of Trump?
That would be bad.
But in a way that, I thought you said something, right? And it got me thinking. What would happen if every Republican just takes Trump as their idol and try to replicate him? We would have mini Trumps everywhere. But not just the Trump that calls a porn star horse face. I'm not talking about that Trump. I'm talking about the... How's it called? The Trump that talks to people. They could be copying off of Trump by talking to people the way he does. And that's kind of worrying because if you think about it, Trump is a revolutionary Republican. He's the weirdest candidate I've ever seen in a way that he's so peculiar, the way he speaks, the way everything. But it works. That's the thing. It works. It so works every time. He hypes up a rally like no other. It's like instead of like clapping, like an actual surprise clapping, they scream for him. They scream for this man. And it's worrisome. So what do you think about that?
I just wanted to bring up real quick that with Ron DeSantis, if you ever watch his ad commercials, I don't know if you guys seen them. He's teaching his kids. I don't know how old he is. He's reading age 3 or 4 years old, and he's teaching his kid. He's like, here's Trump, make America great again. He's showing them all that and stuff like that. And so they talked about it in the first debate. I mean, you saw that, right? So they were talking. He was talking with Andrew Gillum. Was like, do you think Trump's a good role model? And he's like, yeah, Trump's a great role model. Showing our kids how to read. He's doing this. And it was just like, oh my gosh. Like, so I think I agree with a lot of. There's 2 candidates for Republican Party. You either totally officiate yourself with Trump. You're like, yeah, Trump's making America great again. He's following these policies, doing a great job. I'm gonna be like Trump. I'm gonna get out there. I'm gonna tell the people in Washington to do their job. I'm gonna get them working. I'm gonna do all that stuff. Then you have the other Republican candidates like, who's Donald Trump? He's not a Republican. He's not with us, stuff like that. So you have the 2 different Republicans.
I think the problem is that we're in a 2-party system for the U.S., and within the Republican Party, there's too much fractionalism. So it's like you have those Republicans who will agree with Trump because they're his type of Republican. Now, need be that Donald Trump has flip-flopped between Democrat and Republican a few times. So it's like I don't think that I think he's not really a full-blown conservative, as in the traditional sense of Republican. So I think more of the Republicans he's appealing to are the ones that are maybe more centrist-leaning Republicans. That's pure conjecture on my part.
This is the time for Republicans, honestly. And it sounds really funny when you think about it, but it is the time for Republicans.
Why do you think it's the time for Republicans? Because we got the House is Republican, the Senate's Republican, the President's Republican. So why do you think it's a big time for Republicans right now?
In an emotional side, okay, so I always had a Democratic mindset, and I always thought Republicans are the most racist bigots ever. And once I saw their points of views, once I saw everything, it kind of changed their perspective for me. And what I mean by it's the time for Republicans, it's the time for them to seek respect. It's the time for them to change what everybody sees for Republicans. And now Republicans are going to be an equivalent. It's not going to be, oh, these people are racist. These people are scum. They're not going to be scum anymore. They're not going to be the worst of the worst. I believe that Republicans in a whole are going to change everything in an emotional side of things.
I guess if I were to say factual, it's like if I were to classify myself, I'd classify myself as a Republican that leans towards the centralist side. I'm more of a realist when it comes to things. And when I look at the Democratic Party, it's just the problem with the Democratic Party is that they claim the moral high ground. They're like, we have this moral authority. We are the apex of morality. No one can be better than us. And it's not all Democrats. No, it's the loudest speaking Democrats.
The mob.
Yeah, the mob.
The mob rule.
The mob rule, yeah. It's like, the problem is like, maybe people would be more open to Democrats. Maybe I'd be more open to Democrats if they were to be more logical in their approach to things. It's like, because it's like, you have these people that are chasing Republicans out of restaurants and everything. This is clearly mob mentality. I mean, they're not straight up attacking anyone like people like Antifa have. But, it's like, and the Democrats go, no, that's not a mob, that's civil protest. I go, civil protest? Civil protest is what Martin Luther King did when he marched on Washington. It's like, that's civil protest. No one's being run out of places, no one's doing anything. You're sitting there and you're marching. You're doing what you want. And they go, no, this is civil protest. It's like, really? Then I'd hate to see what you consider mob mentality. It's like, these people, I don't know if they believe what they say, but it's just like, they go around going, we are moral authority, but we agree with these mob people that what they're doing. Chase the Republicans out of the diner. Ban police officers from diners as well. It's like, that's just stupid.
It's ridiculous.
It's honestly ridiculous.
It's bad. And just like SNO said, just with the whole Democrats taking the moral high ground and everything, it's kind of just like, why do we want to ban guns? Because we want to save lives. Oh, did you see all those kids get shots in schools? The Republicans don't care. They want to keep guns. Do you think they want women to have choice? No, they want pro-life. They don't want women to have choices over their body. They take the more, like you just said, they take more high ground. They think they're better than Republicans. Republicans are racist. They're bigots. They're scum. They don't care about anyone's feelings. Hashtag facts don't care about your feelings. But no, that's what they say. That's what Democrat. That's my biggest part of the Democrat Party. I mean, just like O said, like I used to have a really big Democrat mindset where I was like, this seems morally right. And that's kind of the family I grew up in. That's kind of honestly, just the world we live in with news media and stuff like that. I mean, excluding, Fox News and all that. When you grow up watching CNN, you grow up watching that, you're like, well, it seems right. Why would I be Republican? Democrat just seems right. It seems morally correct. But when you actually start looking at empirical data, you just start looking at statistics, you see the real side of things. You see that Republicans aren't lying about things. That's the difference between Republican and Democrat. Democrat is very anecdotal. They want you to feel. Not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, if you just look at feelings, that's not always the correct answer. But when you look at data and you look at statistics, I mean, it helps you weigh out the options. That's what the difference between Republicans, very data, empirical data, statistic-wise, and it just makes more sense.
See, the thing is, like, I don't really fully agree with either party because both are, in my opinion, bad and horrid in their own ways. The Republicans, they're very conservative. That's what they do. They believe in traditional values. Religion's a big thing. Not everyone's religious. They are very conservative in their mindset. It's like they want to keep old things. They want to keep things the way they are.
They're not progressive.
They're not progressive. And there's nothing wrong with being progressive. Progressivism is good when it's needed.
To a point.
To a point, yeah. So it's like, I agree with both parties. And that's when the problem comes, when you have a two-party system, like we do in the U.S. It comes to the problem where you have two sides. You can either choose this side, which is the big umbrella of everyone, or you can choose the other side with the big umbrella and everyone. And no one perfectly falls into either category, and that becomes the problem. And then you have, on either side, the loudest voices, which are the vocal minority, I'm going to say, just to be safer about how I'm speaking, versus this more quiet majority. And if the quiet majority doesn't speak, it makes the other people look bad. Like when you have people like that support the Democratic side, like the bad SJWs. I'm like, there's nothing wrong with SJW in the sense of the term being a social justice warrior. I cringe saying that. But there's nothing wrong with it. It's just the vocal ones are the ones that are causing the issues. And I'd like to see on both sides denouncement of both bad things. Like the only people that are really saying Trump, you need to tone what you're doing down, are the Democrats, which I like seeing, but I want to see the Republicans go, Trump, you need to cool it with the rhetoric a little.
What rhetoric? That's the thing. Also, there's another thing that I wanted to say. What the hell is up with people going over to every rally, or not every rally, like news channels or news outlets or just anywhere saying, we cannot let the white people control us anymore. White people are the worst. And I'm like, wait a minute. You're telling me that there's always been a way that, white people have, been bad, quote unquote, but now you're just being racist, I would say, like reverse racism.
No, there's no such thing as reverse racism.
No,
because there's racism. If you're a white person and you hate someone because they're black, that's racism. If you're a black person, you hate someone because they're white, that's also racism. If you're Asian, you hate someone because they're Latino, that's racism.
No, you know what? I hate when people make the distortion between racism and like bigotry. It's like they go, no, racism, you have to have a structure of power to be racist. I go, no, you don't.
No, that's...
Racism is the belief. This is the definition. Is the prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism directed against someone of a different race based on the belief that one's own race is superior. So if I believe that me, as a white male, I'll say... Cisgendered white male, go, you... as a Mexican person, are lesser than me. I am better than you in every way, shape, or form, and I can prove it with this data and that data, and because white people have done this and we've done that. It's racist. That's what it is. It's racist. And if a black person goes, screw white people are stupid, or whatever, they go, white people are racist, they're bigots, they're whatever. It's like, that's... So it's like trying to distort the two is, in my opinion, stupid. You need to call it what it is, because if you don't, you start to give the word less meaning.
Definitely agree on that. Okay, sorry, you keep going with your point.
So I was working for this woman, right? I won't say what's her name or anything. So she always used to tell me, like, okay, we need more minorities in this place because we cannot let white people control us anymore. And I used to agree with her because I had a democratic mindset. But at one point, with my democratic mindset, it was getting a little bit weird. Because she was always saying white people this or white people that, white people this or white people that. I was getting, are you criticizing anything they do? Are you criticizing a person that just stands outside? Like, oh, old white people have power and they shouldn't. Why old white people this, white people that. And I was getting, hold on. Are you being kind of racist, or are you just being so naive that you would insult or just criticize any white person you see on the street? And that's wrong. We shouldn't just, okay, a white person does something bad. Okay, he does something bad. But we shouldn't generalize. If somebody does something bad, we shouldn't generalize each and every single one of that same race. I don't believe that's right. That's morally wrong, I would say.
I definitely agree on that. It's definitely morally wrong. But I mean, it's just like we were talking about reverse racism. It's a term coined by the liberals, libtards. No, I'm joking. No, all civilness. It's really a liberal term. That's kind of trying to get people to think like, oh, I can't be racist if I'm black to a white person. Or white people have been so racist in the past, which, I mean, we all know about slavery. We all know about the stuff how white people have been horrible in the past. We're in present day though right now. Yeah. There's no need to look back in the past and,
Yeah, I mean, slavery's existed since forever. I mean, every race had its version of slavery, whether it was the Africans, they had their version of slavery, the Europeans, to the Asians in China and India. They've all had their version of enslavement and slavery. It's just the special thing about our slavery in the U.S. during the modern time is that we did it based off one special trait. We did it based off the color of someone instead of just because I went to war with you, now you're my slave instead of that, which made ours very special in a way that it gave birth to this idea of racism because it became ingrained in American culture at that time that black people are slaves, so therefore they are a lesser people, which is a terrible thing.
So we are not going to transition from one step to another. So in conclusion, the blue wave. So what are you guys' hopes for the blue wave for the upcoming debates? I mean, not debates, for the upcoming elections.
Well, I'd like to see Ron DeSantis win, but I honestly think that Gillum will probably win, just due to the fact that if you look at it, probably that the Democrats outnumber the Republicans just in sheer number and voting population. So if they all go to the ballot box, they will win just by sheer mass. So I'd like to see him win, but I don't think he'll win. I think we're going to see a huge flip from Republican to Democrat just because that's how elections have gone. We've gone from Democrat, Republican, Democrat, Republican. It's just been a flip-flop in American politics for a long time.
I mean, in my opinion, I'd like to see Republicans win, but I agree with S on that. It's going to flip most likely. I mean, just looking at real clear politics right here for the Senate right now. I mean, Republicans are favored to win, but there's still toss-ups in almost so many states right now. It's a toss-up including that if Florida wins Republican, it's a toss-up including that. It's a toss-up including Nevada, Arizona, Montana, Missouri, Indiana. I mean, all these states are still undecided, so they're saying that Republicans have the lead. For governor is the same thing. It's still a toss-up. Republicans have a very narrow lead. I mean, for the House is a different story where Democrats have a big lead right now. But everything's still up in the air. Like I said, I'd like to see the Democrats. I'd like to see Democrats not win as much. I'd like to see the Republicans win. But I think we'll definitely experience a blue wave.
Yes, sir.
Blue wave or political realignment.
According to CNN.
So, let's see.
The synagogue shooting, I think.
Yes, sir. So the synagogue shooting happened a few days ago, I would say, last Saturday. This man, right, Robert Bowers, age 48, he killed 11 people, injured 6, and 2 cops. So he was charged with 21 federal counts, of which hate crimes occurred. I feel that it's wrong. It's obviously wrong, and I feel it's a really sad topic. So we're gonna take this one seriously. Now, which I mean, I'm sad, right? How the Democrats are taking this. It's a sad event, right? It's the worst, one of the worst events I would say that's happened this year, and I hate how Democrats are trying to turn this is one of Donald Trump's rhetorics. And I'm like, okay, so are you going to tell me 11 people died, 6 were injured, and 2 cops as well? This man killed 11 people, Jews. Jewish people died. And you're just going to leave your morals just to go straight into Trump? That's the worst scumbag type of move you can do. Now, I'm sad to even think that they would do such a thing. Why? Because they're a news outlet. They're supposed to report the news. And they're just going straight into Trump saying, it's your fault this happened. It's not his fault. It's not his fault that this happened. It's just a hate crime. And what are your opinions on this, honestly?
Well, I believe that this is I think this is now the largest killing of Jews in America as of now. I believe 11 killed, 6 injured, and I don't remember if the 2 cops were included or they were separate. It was the 2 cops that arrived on the scene first. They got into a gunfight with Bowers and, firefight per se. But the guy's being charged with 29 federal accounts, some of which are hate crimes, which takes it out of the Pittsburgh police's hands and into the federal government, which is now the FBI, is in charge of this investigation. And it's it was cited, I believe, on every source that I read, including CNN. I'm just looking at it, he yelled that all Jews must die when he entered the synagogue. opening fire with his AR-15 and 3 handguns on him.
I mean, yeah, it's a really horrible event to happen. I think no one's gonna say that. No one's gonna say it's not a bad event, stuff like that. And it's horrible this has happened, stuff like that. And I agree, especially with O on this whole point that a lot of people see this, and I think most Democrats, most liberals are mad about this issue because right after this horrible event happened, Trump came out and talked about how we really need to control anti-Semitics. We need to control this hatred, stuff, the neo-Nazis, all that stuff, how that's our biggest problem right now. We have all these hatred groups going on, stuff like that. He's not condemning hatred groups. He's trying to say we need to control this much hatred for another person, another group, or stuff like that. But Democrats aren't happy about that. Liberals aren't happy about that. They're mad that Trump won't talk about gun control. When people they see shootings, stuff like that, school shootings like this, they want gun control. They want gun reform. They want military class weapons taken away. They want all guns taken away, and that's what they're mad about. They're like, if we had guns taken away, these 11 people wouldn't have died. These 11 people would still be alive today. That's the big liberal issue on this whole thing. I mean, I think we all disagree with that, and that's not how you solve an issue like that. And I think it's horrible. It's the same thing what happened in Vegas with the 55 people died from that, and all the other shootings. People were like, we need gun control. We need guns taken away. We need military-grade weapons. And I don't think that's the best solution to this whole situation. That's not me saying, I don't care that these 11 people died. I don't care that these 55 people. I don't care that these kids died. I don't think we're looking at the right thing. I think we're taking this too anecdotal. I think we're taking this too emotional to the point where I think we need to understand it's a horrible event. I think we need to take a step back and look about what policies would be best on that. I mean, whether you think there needs to be better background checks or think there needs to be taken away of military weapons, that's one thing, that's a separate debate, but gun control is not going to do it. I mean, it's not going to be the best solution for this.
Full-blown banning guns won't be a good thing. I think there'll be too much reaction. You'd have too much reactionary reactions from people when you try to take away all their guns, because you have a bunch of big red states that really like their guns, and they really like their high-powered guns. And it's just saying that when these events happen, they are seldom when they happen, and you should give time for this to mull over with people before you jump right into political debate with, we need to ban all guns. Like, I see the point of stronger background checks, maybe restricting the types of guns. Maybe we don't need bump stocks anymore. We don't need these high-capacity 100-round beta mags for your AR-15. We don't need those exactly, but yeah, I think within the coming week, we're going to see a lot more rhetoric ramp up about this synagogue shooting with gun control. I haven't seen any as of yet, but I think there's going to be some when people are running for their midterm election using this, or for another election using these and citing this particular shooting and Vegas as reasons for more gun control and what they would use in the future. That's what I can really see. But I think we should move back onto the topic of the synagogue shooting.
Yeah, so it's a sad event, honestly. And also, talking about like weapons, we'll transition to the pipe bombs. So again, with my own argument, I hate how news medias try to blame Trump over anything. And it's not working. And it's not working for them. I don't understand how they do not understand that they're ruining themselves by always attacking Trump. So, for the pipe bombs, right? Or for the bombs in general. The person, right? Cesar Sayoc, his age is 56, right? He sent bombs to a lot of Democrats in general. And it was kind of weird that he did, because what the hell? Bombs weren't even working. They were bombs, yes, but they weren't activated bombs or anything of the sorts. It was just bombs, and it created mass hysteria. And when they went to investigate him, he had a van full of stickers, full of like, I hate CNN, Hillary was in a crosshair. It was a really weird thing. And so when people on CNN or other news channels that are highly biased, they say it was Trump's fault because Trump's rhetoric is like that. And I believe it's wrong, again, to just blame it on the president or on his way of speech. we cannot just blame everything that happens in the world, or mostly America, because it's Trump's fault. We cannot do that. Does it solve anything? Honestly, does it solve anything?
Well, no, really it doesn't, but that's normally how things work when terrible events happen or bad things happen. It gets blamed on the person in the highest position. And if we think about a single person in a high position, you normally think about the president. Like, the big meme before Obama left his office was, thanks, Obama. Like, because anything bad happened, thanks, Obama. That was the whole thing. So it's mainly just by association that he's the big guy in charge, that it just somehow works its way up the chain and he gets blamed. But yeah, he sent bombs to like a bunch of big people in government. He sent some to, former Attorney General Eric Holder, Democratic Representative Maxine Waters, to our favorite actor Robert De Niro, former President Joe Biden, Democratic U.S. Senator Cory Booker, former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper, the former President Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, George Soros, a big Democratic investor, and like another Democratic donor, Tom Steyer, and Kamala Harris. Like, some of these bombs were intercepted in the mail, and they don't know if there are any more that are circulating, but it's a terrible thing. And the thing is, like, I can see why they will make the association faster than most people will for the president, considering he was found in Florida in Plantation at an AutoZone. His white van covered in images of Donald Trump, signs saying CNN sucks and Hillary Clinton and stuff. So it's like, it doesn't paint a really good image for Trump when you find that. Need be, Trump didn't know this person exists. I mean, he's the president. He's not going to know of one single guy in Florida. So it's just, it's a stretch to blame the president, even though I know why they do it.
Yeah, it's a stretch. I mean, this has happened multiple times, especially with, like, okay, I think Ben Shapiro was bringing up this point. So, there's when shootings happened, whether it's with Democrat, Republicans, or bomb threat stuff, it's not the person's fault. Like, Bernie supporter went up and all these Republicans were playing, not Republican people, but actually people in Congress were actually playing a game of softball. Mm-hmm. And the guy came baseball, sorry, I said softball, came up and shot all of them. And
tried
to shoot him and stuff like that. And it's like, that's not Bernie's fault. That's not Bernie Sanders' fault. That's the guy followed Bernie Sanders. It's not like Bernie Sanders like, you should go shoot Republicans. You should go kill conservatives. No, that's not his fault. Yeah. It's just an unfortunate event that there's this horrible person committing heinous crimes who's to be a Bernie supporter. It's the same thing happening here with the pipe bombers. It's a sad thing that we have this guy committing heinous acts, a criminal, not a good guy, but he really likes Trump. I mean, like, and a lot of people take up Trump's personality and stuff like that, and like, Trump's a racist, Trump's a bigot, Trump's a fascist. And they look at these things, so like, of course Trump's racist, of course Trump supports this. Trump loves the KKK, Trump supports all these groups and stuff like that. So I think that's why people really easy to make that assumption.
Just by association.
No, by association, especially.
And the thing is, for Caesar, this isn't a new thing. In 2002, according to all the sources I looked at, I haven't found an official police report on anything, but all the news coverage I looked at on this pipe bombing incident was that he was found guilty of bomb threats in 2002 to Florida utility workers. So it's like, this isn't new to Caesar. It's like, this is something he's done before. So I just think he took being a Trump supporter to a whole new level and decided to have fun, as one would say, with what he was doing. And I believe he's pleading not guilty to the offense. I believe so.
Yeah, he's pleading not guilty. So we shall see how that. He wants a trial and everything. So we should see how that unfolds.
So honestly, going back to the pipe bombs. So how do I explain this? So honestly, I don't think I have anything else to say on it. Then it's just a weird event, I would say. So, wanna add something else?
It's a weird event, and like especially what S was saying, this is not his first act of violence on the Democrats or anything like this, and so he's done.
No, it wasn't Democrats; it was utility workers.
No. I mean, like, it was a utility. I mean, like, he's done this before.
Yes, he's done this before.
He's done this before.
It's not his first.
This is not his first
act of violence with bombs.
not first act of bombs, and it was on Democrats and stuff like that. I think we need to not immediately be like, this horrible thing, this person's trying to commit hate crime. Trump is the problem. Hashtag Trump not for 2020. But we don't need to do that, I think. So.
Well, I don't really have anything else to add. I pretty much said my piece on this.
So I think we're gonna do a comedic or a humorous session. So okay. So first of all, I would like to ask you guys, what do you think about Elizabeth Warren's Pocahontas film coming soon on 2020?
I'm very excited for Pocahontas 3. Very excited for this Elizabeth Warren. I think that she would make a great Native American. And anyways, in all honesty and stuff like this, I don't think you can keep bringing up. It wasn't one time. She's brought this up so many times, multiple times, that she's like, I really connect to my roots. I am a Native American and stuff like this. I want to connect with my rituals. So that I have no problem with that. I have no problem, no matter how much percentage you are, you're like, I connect with who I am as a person. If that's what makes you happy, I don't care. But don't bring it up for political political gain so many times to the point where it's redundant and it's annoying and stuff like that. And I mean, like, S is gonna hit you up with the exact statistics of how much Native American she is, but I want you just to understand that you have this person, you have this huge socialist Democrat coming at you guys saying that I am Native American, I connect to my roots, I'm almost all Native American, not actually like percentage wise, but she's like personally wise, she is almost all Native American. So Pocahontas 2 will be a great film. 10 out of 10 would watch again.
Pocahontas 3. No, but yeah, it's like according to all the data that we looked at and that I could find is that she's 1,024th Native American, which is like 11 to 12 generations back. That's a good amount of generations back considering how the gene pool works. But yeah, to go around saying, "Oh, I'm Native American," and I'm like 1,000. It's like those people you hear in Texas or in the South. Like, yeah, I'm like 172nd Cherokee Indian, or like I am 187th Pueblo. It's like Pueblo. It's like being one of those people. It's like, cool. Your point is, it's like, how does this help the situation? So it's like, stating this for political gain is clearly just pandering to people. It's like, oh, I'm a minority in a sense. I am the ultimate minority. I am the Native American people. I am the ultimate minority. So it's just ridiculous to use that as a political backstanding, and it became a huge thing when it didn't need to be.
And I'm sorry. I was just gonna bring it's a huge thing with politicals. Like, I am a minority. I just want to highlight that point. That's I think the biggest thing behind this. She's trying to act like a minority. Like, she understands. I mean, she's an old white woman.
Who's oppressed more
Now that she's Native American. So I just think that's funny. Anyway, sorry.
Do you know that she's an intellectual? Actually, she's a Harvard professor. I don't know how a Harvard professor could actually make that mistake. And what I mean by mistake is, okay, she proved that she has a heritage with, what was it again? Pocahontas.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, right, the problem with her doing that and actually proving that she was kind of wrong, I would say, it's that if she's running for president in 2020, any Democrat can literally kill her with that. She can lose everything with just one sentence. You're not Pocahontas.
You're not Pocahontas. Pocahontas 3 is not going to make it on Netflix. You're not going to make it. It's not co-starring Jimmy Fallon. We don't need this, okay?
She played herself.
What's your opinion about Elizabeth Warren 2020 against Donald Trump? What do you think her chances of winning that are? Like, honestly, what do you think the actual statistical, like, not only your opinion, but America's opinion? Like, who do you think?
It depends upon what your view is. If you're like a hardcore Democrat, you'd probably vote for Elizabeth Warren. But if you had like some semblance of like logic or reasoning, I don't think you would really vote for her. It's like, because it's like, yeah, I'm Native American. I'm like 10 generations back Native American if you want to be liberal about it. But it's just, yeah, sure. Liberals will vote. I don't think Republicans will vote for her. That's a given. I think independent people are going to be the most important people in that vote if she does run, and whether she can convince them. Because if they are independent and they lean to either spectrum, the reason why they're independent is because they don't like either party. So she's gonna have to have a really good reason to swing them either way. And right now, that Pocahontas thing isn't a good reason. It's a reason to lose votes.
Well said.
Well said, sir. So another humorous topic. So I've heard Hillary is gonna run for president, and honestly, she's not gonna win it. First of all, second of all, I know what she's gonna do. I know her strategy. Her master plan is this: she's gonna run for vice president, right? And Bernie's gonna be the president. And here's a scoop, right? So once Bernie is elected, she's gonna be elected vice president because it's an easier topic to win. And so when she gets into office with Bernie, first day, since Bernie is an old man, no offense to Bernie, she's gonna jump scare the shit out of Bernie first day in office.
I mean, they're both pretty old. I think she'd die herself from trying to jump scare him.
True that. But she's gonna jump scare. We should paint the White House. he just dies just right there. And she's like, I'm president now. This is the only way I gotta win.
All hail Clinton.
Would that be involuntary manslaughter on her half?
Nobody would
Lock
know.
her up.
I mean, they wouldn't know because guess what? He had a heart attack. It's not
It was an accident. I didn't know he'd die from me playing a prank on him. It was just a social experiment.
It was just a prank, bro. Just a prank.
Oh, but freaking the Ted Cruz post from
Jesus.
Twitter on Halloween. I thought that was pretty funny.
I'm still scared because of that, man. The Zodiac Killer returns, people. Ladies and gentlemen, so on the 31st of October, Ted Cruz posted on Twitter, what was it again? Could you look up the post?
I have it right here. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. And just posted a Zodiac Killer paper on it. And I was like, fucking hell, not again. And 5 people died next day.
I think it's really funny. This is obviously comedic. I mean, this was going on the whole campaign that he was the Zodiac Killer. If you just look at the comments, if you look at the comments, the number one right now is talking about this is horrible. This is being mean to the people who are actually part of Zodiac killing their families and stuff like that. This is horrible to do. And it's just it's a joke.
My favorite one's the second top one. It says, "It's just a meme." Face palm.
Honestly, you want to say something?
No, you keep going.
So another thing is that Democrats would use anything. Okay, so have you guys seen a stand-up comedy?
Yeah.
How racist is that? And, well, not racist, but they're really, really dark humor.
Offending.
Yeah,
they're offending to everything.
And that's what makes it funny.
And this is offending the families of the Zodiac. Come on.
I mean, it's okay. You know what? It's good to respect families when tragic things happen, but it's been so long that I think it's okay to do it. I mean, come on. People make 9/11 jokes, and I hear that from people all across the board sometimes. Like, oh, Bush did 9/11. It's like, oh, 9/11 this, 9/11 that. Hey, today's 9/11. I hope nothing bad happens. So it's just like, I hear jokes about it all the time, and if you get upset about it, that's just being a little petty. I know it's a tragic event, and it's like, if you continue to make those jokes, it becomes a bad thing, but if you do it every once in a while, there's no harm done.
I get you.
In my opinion.
The thing is, right, I mean, people, it's not, okay, if you want to insult or even just criticize Ted Cruz over his joke, you have to criticize each and every single person that did the joke that Ted Cruz is a Zodiac Killer. You have to criticize each and every single one of them. Because of the people, it's why Ted Cruz posted it. It's humorous and it's clever. Nobody expected it. It was funny. So I don't know what the problem is. I mean, I know what the problem is, sure. But we shouldn't make a big deal out of it.
People are very easily offended. That's just the world we live in right now.
I know.
It's just, that's how it is. That's how it be.
Oh, one of my favorite comments for this is like, this joke would have probably made me chuckle 3 years ago, but now this joke has gone stale. See, some people aren't upset about it. They're upset because it's a bad meme now.
Okay, honestly,
it's too old.
Could you read his username?
No, we're not reading his username.
Honestly, if you find his post, please, I really want to say it, man. Come on. Well, I think that would be all the topics by now. So, well, honestly, the 5 people that are going to be listening to this podcast, I thank you for going up to this far, right? Okay, so we're seeing another meme. The Zodiac Killer. So Zodiac Killer steps forward to deny being Ted Cruz. I've got a bad enough reputation without people thinking I'm Ted Cruz. Quote, the Zodiac Killer.
That's a pretty good one.
That was a pretty good meme. But I mean, thank you for joining the podcast. I mean, we're going to be uploading to YouTube. Like and subscribe. Comment below what you want to hear next time. In all seriousness, yes, please comment. We need the likes. Please help.
Should post in the comments.
Should post in the comment, please. This also will be probably on some podcast channels, mostly YouTube. I mean, I don't know any other. I mean, right? I don't know, maybe some other platforms. We'll see.
iTunes.
Also, please, could you post the best Zodiac Killer memes like on the comments section, please? And thank you so much. I truly appreciate it.
So we can get those 7 views.
Put us on all the ASMR channels because this is
Upload to Pornhub.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you so much for joining us on the Don't Hate Us podcast. Again, don't hate us. We're just trying to provide you information and to not fall into the brainwash category of the freaking media. So thank you. Truly appreciate your support. My teammates are going to say goodbye. Seems so sad.
Yeah, this is the SAT podcast. We are testing your knowledge. Maybe, possibly. I don't know. We'll find out.
That's how college works.
Yeah, please don't sue us.